Assalamu alaikum, I'm Adil Abbasi. You are watching exclusive interview on ARY. We have with us two honorable guests, Baroness Saida Warsi, who is a cabinet minister and Conservative Party chairman, and Lord Green, who is the Minister of State for Trade and Investment. I would like to tell my viewer that this is Lord Green's first visit to Pakistan. Thank you very much for being with us, for giving your precious time. Baroness Saida Warsi, I start from you. What is the purpose of your current visit to Pakistan?
Well, this is the fifth visit that I've done since we formed the new government in the UK. And it's part of a series of meetings and visits by many ministers. The Home Secretary has been here, the DFID Secretary has been here, the Prime Minister has been here, of course, the Foreign Secretary, the Immigration Minister, now the Trade and Industry Minister. Because as the Prime Minister announced when he was here in April of last year with Prime Minister Gilani, that a new relationship, a new enhanced strategic dialogue has been established between the two countries. David Cameron referred to it as a Naya Aghaaz.
What is enhanced strategic dialogue that UK Prime Minister David Cameron launched during Pakistan's visit last year?
It's about a long-term, consistent focus on a series of agreed areas. So education, culture, security, trade and industry are some of the areas. It's about showing that the relationship is important and it has to have a long-term element. I think a transactional relationship, which is short-termist in its approach, isn't the right way. And I think the two prime ministers were quite right to recognise that the peace and prosperity and stability of one nation is very much dependent upon the peace, prosperity and stability of another.
As you said, it's a transactional relationship. What is important in enhanced strategic dialogue for the people of Pakistan?
Well, what it means in very practical terms, for example, in relation to DFID, is that it's because of that enhanced strategic dialogue, that understanding of the real needs that there are within Pakistan, that Pakistan will become, over the coming years, our biggest single aid program. It also means that our focus is very much on education. We understand that the number of children that are being born and actually sadly not in education in Pakistan is in itself a problem, a long-term ticking problem, and therefore our aid program is focused on ensuring that over the coming years we support and fund 4 million more students back into education.
All right. Let me ask you, Lord Green, UK is one of the largest investors in Pakistan, and here are probably 100 companies working. So how they report about their investment in Pakistan?
Well, I think that overall, British businesses that I've met are delighted with their investments in Pakistan. They want to find ways of developing them further. Of course, when I listen to British businesses talk about particular issues they face on a day-to-day basis, there are always challenges. But I spend a lot of my time traveling around the world, and the kinds of things that I hear them saying here in Pakistan are very much the same sorts of things that I hear them saying in other emerging markets, i.e. lots of opportunities, overall very pleased with the way the business is developing, and there are always issues to address.
All right. Particularly in which area UK companies invested in Pakistan? Could you elaborate that?
Yes, it's quite a broad range of areas. I mean, today I have visited GlaxoSmithKline's factory here in Karachi. They are a major participant in the pharmaceuticals market in Pakistan. Financial services, both my former employer, HSBC, and Standard Chartered and Barclays are all here. In engineering design and project management, in the retail services. Another thing that we did today was participate in the press launch of Debenhams in the Dolmen Mall, where there are not only Debenhams, but of course a number of other major British names. So it's a very broad-based engagement with the Pakistan economy.
If I'm not wrong, you were a former president of HSBC?
I was.
All right. So let's talk about European markets. So how Pakistan can get access in European markets through UK?
Well, I think that the important issue that's on the table, as I'm sure many people will know, is what's called GSP+, which is enhanced access for Pakistan exports into the European Union. I mean, textiles are particularly important to Pakistan, of course. And what Pakistan can count on, and we were assuring the Prime Minister yesterday in Islamabad and the Finance Minister, is absolutely full, wholehearted support by the British in arguing the case for enhanced access by Pakistan in Brussels.
All right. Baroness Saida Warsi, I read your statement that every year over 1.9 billion pound wealth of trade flows between Pakistan and UK. And you aim to increase this probably trade to 2.5 billion pound by 2015. My question is, how are you going to achieve this target?
Well, we're already well on target, and when the announcement was first made, we were actually lower than the figure that you've just quoted. So we are heading in the right direction. Over the last year, for example, exports from the UK have increased by about 20%. Exports from Pakistan to the UK have increased by about 17%. So we're on track. We're on track to double aid, as the commitment said. And visits like these, conferences that we've held in the UK, engagement around trade, the big UKTI presence here, the big support through our embassies, our High Commission here, to focus on trade. All of that is all pushing in the same direction. Why? Well, not just because it's a great target to say, well, we want to increase trade, but because we know that Pakistan is a huge opportunity. It is an emerging market. If we look around the world, we can't rely upon places like the European Union to be our only markets. And therefore, there is a win-win situation, a win for Pakistan and a win for Britain.
All right. What do you think, considering Pakistan's shortage of energy, political situation, role in war on terror, and many things which Pakistan is suffering from, how UK can help Pakistan to build a vibrant economy? Do you have a plan to make Pakistan strong, or in?
We have a plan to support Pakistani business and infrastructure development in any way that makes sense. I mean, it is, of course, for the Pakistan authorities to address the energy question. But as it so happens, the largest single British export in this last year or so to Pakistan has been power generation equipment. So that happens to fit within the area of the energy priority. There's a lot to do, of course. The infrastructure development challenges for Pakistan are well known. There are areas where I think British consultants, British designers, British suppliers of equipment can participate. And I know from my conversations with a whole range of different British businesses that they're very keen to do so.
Okay, let me ask you one personal question, both of you. I have heard that your mothers belong to Pakistan, both of you, if I'm not wrong.
Both our mothers were born in Pakistan.
All right.
So
your mother were born in Punjab?
My mum was born in Gujranwala, well, just outside Gujranwala, a little village in the Punjab.
All right. And your?
And my mother was born in Peshawar.
All right.
Some while ago, it must be said.
All right, that's all right. So at government level, how you plan to execute these targets?
There are a whole number of things we need to do. We have UK trade and investments, you've mentioned them. It is part of their job to support British businesses as they look for opportunities in Pakistan. We run conferences in London. We had a major conference a few months back in London, which well over 200 British business people attended, with a series of presentations on opportunities in Pakistan. I think another area to tap is the large Pakistani diaspora in Britain, who've been very successful in business life in Britain and who know this country extremely well, of course. I think getting them to think about how they can help support other British businesses to get to know the Pakistani opportunity is something we need to work on. There's a whole series of things like that, showcasing the opportunities for Pakistan, the opportunities in Pakistan in Britain, and the opportunities in Pakistan at this end for encouraging British businesses to get here.
All right. Okay, let's talk about war and terror. What is the exit strategy of UK from Afghanistan? Would UK play in development of Afghanistan?
You know, it's probably going to be surprising for you to hear this, but let's not talk about the war on terror. You know, because we always talk about the war on terror, and I think, you know, the reason why I say that actually quite seriously is that.
But our viewers want to know that. That's why I'm asking this question.
I mean, and you're completely right to ask that question. But the reason why I make that, let me make the serious point here, which is that, you know, sometimes in Pakistan we talk so much about the challenges, and I think when we overplay the challenges, and don't get me wrong, these are big challenges that any country and you know the sacrifices that Pakistan has made and the public of Pakistan and the army of Pakistan have made in this war on terror, more sacrifices than any nation around the world has made, and Britain acknowledges that, and therefore at some very difficult times, Britain has always stood alongside Pakistan and has said that, your enemies are our enemies, your concerns are our concerns. But what I would say is that sometimes talking about those challenges actually takes us away from what I think is the single biggest challenge going forward, and that is, how does a country continue to grow at a pace where it continues to accommodate its population growth? Because ultimately, if somebody's stomach is empty, if somebody doesn't have a house, if somebody doesn't have an opportunity, a future, a job, hope, then actually it's more attractive to turn to circumstances that can lead to extremism and then what we eventually see. So I think, if what I would like to see more of is the media, civil society, focusing on the things that really matter. And the things that really matter, if you speak to probably women out there who will be watching this program and men out there who will be watching this program, yes, of course, they'll be concerned about the war on terror. But I bet you they're more concerned about the cost of onions in the bazaar, and they're more concerned about whether or not they'll be able to fill their car with CNG and get their kids to school.
Okay, let me bring your attention towards problems with students like United Kingdom cancelled PSW, post-study work permit policy, and fees is being increased. Students are suffering from these problems. So do you have a plan to resolve their problems?
We do. I mean,
I'm talking about particularly Pakistani students.
Yes, I mean, first of all, I think it's important to deal with some of the myths around student visas. I want to say very clearly that if you are a genuine student and you want to study a genuine course at a genuine British university, then the doors of Britain and the doors of British universities are open, and we will welcome you. But we all know that in the past, sadly, the student system has been abused. It has been used as a way of circumventing immigration rules and going to the United Kingdom to work. And therefore, what we have done is a whole series of measures, including clamping down on colleges which are bogus. I mean, I hear cases, sad cases, of where families, lower middle class families have saved a lot of money to send their their eldest son to university, to the UK. He gets there, he realizes actually there isn't a genuine university and the qualification he's going to get is not worth anything. So I think we need to protect both students who are going from here and our own reputation in terms of our universities over there by getting rid of these bogus colleges. But I also think that there is a difference between somebody going to the UK to study and somebody going to the UK to work. And when I sit in cabinet and we talk about the number of young people, over 1 million young people in Britain who are unemployed and seeking work and seeking training, then I don't think anybody in Pakistan or anywhere in the world would question me when I say that, of course, my loyalty and my commitment will be with those young people first. And it's important that what we do as a nation is at any one time look at the needs of our country. Just like 50 years ago, there was a need for workers to come and work in the mills when my father went to that country. Look at what the needs of Britain are right now and make sure that we go out and we recruit the brightest and best. And I hope some of them are from Pakistan.
Thank you very much, Baroness Saida Warsi and Lord Green, for being with us and to elaborate UK's point of view in front of our viewers. I'm really grateful to you. This was a pleasant conversation with both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
नाज़रीन, हमने बात की पाकिस्तान और बरतानिया के बाहिमी ताल्लुकात के ऊपर। तिजारत, इन्वेस्टमेंट और पाकिस्तान की इकॉनमी, मईशत को बेहतर करने के लिए बरतानिया का क्या किरदार हो सकता है। बरतानिया के 2 वज़ीर हमारे साथ थे और अपना मौक़िफ़ बता रहे थे कि जो इन्हेंस्ड स्ट्रेटेजिक डायलॉग की बात गुज़िश्ता बरस की गई थी और 2015 तक जो ट्रेड का वॉल्यूम है बढ़ाने की बात की गई थी, 1.9 से 2.5 पे ले जाने की बात की गई थी, उसको अमली जामा किस तरीके से जो है वो पहनाया जाएगा और पाकिस्तान की मईशत में बरतानिया कितना अहम किरदार अदा कर सकता है। हमारी तरफ से यही कुछ। आदिल अब्बासी को इजाज़त दीजिए।